Welcome back. Now let's talk about alerts or notifications and a few other advanced features in Visual KPI. So on my screen you have the end user experience, but of course alerts come to you via email and soon through SMS. And so you have this ability to just let the software tell you when to pay attention rather than going and looking at it or having the option of both. So I have my email open on another screen here. I'm going to open up an alert here. Here's one that I have that came in just recently. Let's see, it's 4:15. This is on my server time over here. So this came in at 4 o'clock. So 15 minutes ago. That's a good one. And you'll notice that just like our software, our alerts have a lot of context in them. This one is a very simple email alert. It'll look great on a phone, etc. And I have, it tells me the KPI, it tells me what it is. This one happens to be a reminder alert that the status changed to high a while back. So this is just a reminder. Let me see if I also have a one that's not a reminder. Let's see what we've got here. I'm just going to look through. Well, we can keep going with this reminder. That's still a good enough example. And then also on, it tells me a little bit of the context. You know, it's in the high state. Here's its actual. Here's what you want it to be. Description, and then its alert history. This one looks like it just went bad and kind of stayed bad. So this is the alert, what it looks like. Now, one of the most important parts about the alert is the green button, because what it's going to do is take me to Visual KPI and show me a live trend of exactly where the alert took place. That's the red marker that you see here on the line. Now, what's also good about it, because our software is live, is that it's going to give me not only what led up to that alert and when it took place, but it's going to show me what's happened since, because this KPI went into this bad state back a while ago. If it had been just 15 minutes ago, again, this was a reminder, but if it had been just 15 minutes ago, I'd also see if it got worse or better in the last 15 minutes since the alert was triggered. So no matter how old this alert is, it's going to show me where it happened and what has happened since. So again, just all in the spirit of context. Now, if you're the administrator and you're setting up alerts, then you're going to be able to control what kinds of information appear in the alert as well. This is about a medium level one. You can also put in a lot more information, like all the attributes and other things that belong to the KPI right in the email. This one doesn't have all of that. So that's a quick example of alerts and how you might interact with them, and that ever important green button that's going to take you right to the live trend of that information. So let me close down that, and let's move on to the next advanced feature here, and that is one called trend comments. Now, while I'm here on a trend, you'll see the toolbar here, which we looked at before, and there's one thing that's a little bit different in this one than what I'm about to show you. And to show you that, I got to log into a site. The sites I've been on so far have been just open on the internet. In this case, I'm going to go to this mining site, and you'll notice that it's going to ask for my login information. And when I sign in here, this is a different demo site. That's going to come up with the dashboard for this mining company. And because I'm logged in and because it knows it's me, then I'm going to have some interesting things. So let's look at this particular trend, or maybe this feed grade or equipment utilization. Let's click in here and see what's in here. So here's one. And unlike that last trend I showed you, I have an additional button here, which is trend comments. This only appears if you're logged in, which most of our customers would obviously log into their systems. So it would be there if you've enabled it. And when you click on that, this allows you to start a threaded discussion or make comments on the trend. So in this case, you'll see this little cursor that comes out here that shows me where I am. And I have three ways that I can make a comment. One is I can just click comment, the add comment button. And this is a one-day trend. So what that will do is make a comment over the entire one-day period. So it'll call out, making a comment about everything I see on this trend. The second way is if I clicked an individual point. And if I click once, that's just going to let me make a comment for that one point. The third way, which is the one I'm going to do, is if I want to drag my mouse or my finger if I'm on a phone and make a comment there in that case, right? So now it's saying, whoops, let me do that one more time here. Let's do it, there we go. You drag that here, and now let me make a comment on this. And if I was the manager, I might say, what happened here? And save that comment, right? Now that comment is marked there, and then I can also respond to that comment and say, what happened here? Or, or respond to that. Maybe if I'm someone else and I see this, I could say, oh, it was a power failure. And so that's what caused this particular issue, right? And then there it is marked on my trend. And even if time goes by and I scroll back to this trend, I can get access to it. And then there's your threaded discussion on it. Now, the other thing to know about trend comments is that all of this information is stored in the Visual KPI database, which is like any other SQL database. And you can write an interface to our SQL database and then pull all of your comments into a table. And probably in the future, we'll make that even a native feature where you just pull them anywhere and display them just like any other table of information. So that's a little bit about trend comments, another advanced feature. Now, the next one I want to highlight is called manual data entry. So let me go find a particular group of KPIs. Is there one here on the home screen? No, I think it's back in our favorite group of Exton. Let's go in there, find the KPIs, and see if our favorite one, here it is, Calc KPI 2. I just happen to know that this one has a manual data entry feature in it. So I'm going to go over here. I can do it multiple ways, but I just want to get to the details of this KPI. I'm going to click on the icon on the right. And this gives me some details. And one of the things you'll notice in here, unlike some of the other KPIs, is it has this icon right in the middle next to the target. Now, this is something that's set up in the configuration of the KPI. If the person who built the KPI or defined it specifies that one or many of these values is manual data entry, then this icon is going to appear here in the end user experience. And if I want to change that target, which is currently 1, and I want to make it, let's say 5, and then I'll save it, you'll see it's going to record the change and the timestamp there. And now my target is 5. So let's go back to this KPI or just trend it. And you'll see this change that I just made. I'm going to have to zoom in to see it. Let's go even more detailed. And you're going to see right here, I made that change to the target. And you can also see this one jumped up. That's because this is probably a calculation that depends on the value of this one. And so it is doing a calculation. When that one moved, the other one automatically moved. So that's recording all through history, all my manual data changes. We have many customers that have people who have to walk around and check the water level in a lake or for a water treatment plant or something else and manually record it. Other pieces of information there. You can also do this through custom forms and form applications and have a similar result. So that's a little bit about manual data entry. The last one is a little bit harder to describe to you or to show to you, but that's object level security. And really what it means, I'll just go back to a dashboard just to show you. Let me go to my favorite global dashboard here. What it really means is that the administrator can determine that certain people do or don't have access to various features or various parts of Visual KPI, really down to these objects like a KPI. If I had a profit KPI in here and that was only meant for the finance team or the executives, then that could be locked down. And if I wasn't part of that team, but it was on this dashboard, but I logged in as me, and the back-end system knows through Active Directory or whatever place that I am me and I'm not part of the finance team, then that KPI just wouldn't show up on my screen. If I was part of the finance team, it would be on there, even though the address, the dashboard, or whatever view I'm looking at is the exact same address in my browser. So that's a few of the advanced features. There are more than that. So please ping us if you see something that you'd like the system to do that it doesn't. There's a lot more than that, and it would just take too long to train you on every single one of them. So we'll move on to the next and start to wrap up the course and get you on your way. Thanks for sticking with us.